What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Niner Boys podcast. I am your host, Niner Sickness, accompanied by Brandon and Peter. How's everybody doing? I hope you guys having a wonderful week. We're going to talk 49er football. We're going to talk Myles Garrett. We're going to talk about the draft. And we're going to talk about who should the Niners draft with that 11th spot, all after this.
How you play the game with the people that writing the rules. Ain't the fame that I'm after when paying the dues. I've been through the pain that's reflected in the attitude. Might be winning now, but the thing is that I had to lose. So go and tell me what you really want to do. And lonely at the top, cause there ain't a lot of room. Ain't no other option, that's all I ever knew. So I'ma get it poppin', you know how I'ma do. I've been down through the blood and the sweat. Guarantee you can know I'm a threat. I've been down through the blood and the sweat. And I ain't close to being done yet, I'm going all in. Yeah, I'm going all in. And I ain't close to being done yet, I'm going all in. Yeah. They know I'm going all in.
Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Niners Boy podcast. Pete, how are you doing, sir?
I am good, Beto. I'm so happy to see y'all. I'm so happy to be back. It feels like it's been forever. It's just so good to, even if the 49ers didn't do anything, didn't make the playoffs, didn't do anything, it's just so nice to be on here talking about 49er football and to see all the great people in the chat. I'm stoked for the show today.
Same here. Brandon, my friend, how you doing, sir? All the way committed from work. How you doing tonight?
Doing good, man. No, just here. It'd be bad news of bad bears, but I did lose my grandma over the weekend, so just taking it day by day. But I'm here, man. We're here.
My condolences to you and your family, brother. For someone that has lost quite a few people in my life, it's never easy, man. So my condolences to you and your family.
Yeah, me too.
Thank you, man.
What?
Yeah, me too.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna say everything. You already said it.
No, I know. But the way you did it, bro, correct me. I'm sorry.
But
Hey,
anyway.
Art, just heads up. Mine and Pete's channels are not live right now. Just let you know.
I was just about to type it in.
It's not on you guys?
No.
Nope.
Well, it should be on Pete's, at least. Did you add it to your
Nope.
channel?
I added it earlier today when you said that it was the same link, and it never went live.
It showed up on my channel. It just didn't go live.
Right. Same here.
Yours is a little different, Brandon, because you add the link. Pete's, I actually created into Pete's thing.
No,
So-
I know that, but when it showed me the link and everything, and I clicked on it and all that, and it didn't go through.
All right, so we can do, at this point, we can only do one or two things. We can reset it up and restart it, or just run through this tonight. It's up to you guys.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to me.
Doesn't matter, man.
All right, because there's quite a few people in here. It's not going to be in more than usual because your channels are not on. My apologies. Pete, I don't know why yours is not on. That is so weird because it shows that it's supposed to go on.
Yeah, it shows that it's supposed to go on.
Thank you, Nighthawk. Thank you, Jimmy.
That is interesting. So who's in there? Who came on? Oh yeah, they're telling you condolences. So guys,
Yeah.
who watched the Super Bowl?
Thank you, Papa.
I watched
I watched a little bit of it.
Do you think that the Eagles put the blueprint of what the Niners need to do to beat Kansas City with that
I just think-
defensive line?
I
Or
think
you
the
think they got
NFL
lucky?
just didn't let the refs call the favoritism to the Chiefs because everybody was complaining about them.
I think that they swung at the complete opposite direction because all of a sudden, like I mean, Chiefs were getting no calls, and I mean
That's what I'm saying.
not even like a little bit. Like they swung it completely in the opposite direction. It seemed like the Eagles were getting all the calls, even some ticky tack nonsense they were getting. So it just felt like when you don't have that to fall back on. I mean, and I want to shout out to KP. He's a Niner content creator slash what do they call him? Journalist. But he put out there something that was completely true. He says, "Well, like Mahomes had a terrible Super Bowl last year. The only difference was that Philly was able to capitalize, and I mean it's really the truth. Mahomes didn't really have a great game that game. He didn't really have a great game the other game that he won against the Eagles the time before that. It's really kind of weird the way he just does just enough to get the wins, but it just didn't work out for him. They just completely threw up over themselves in this game.
Okay. I just realized what I did wrong. My apologies. I didn't connect on my side. I did not connect Restream because I haven't been on my computer since the last time we did a show, which was like 3 weeks ago. I haven't even turned it on. I've been so busy, and I just realized I did not connect. I set it up on your side, but I didn't connect it on my side. So it's this, and since I didn't connect Restream for Pete, Brandon doesn't work either because he's connected through you. So my apologies for that. Not intentional. So yeah, this game against the Chiefs, I think Brandon made a point that I kind of agree with. I think that the pressure was on the NFL. I think the pressure was on the referees. People were talking about this for the past 2 weeks before the Super Bowl, where this better not be the Eagles versus the referees and Chiefs. And I think a lot of that was put on the referees. And I think the referees didn't want to call because there were some calls that actually was worthy to be called on the Chiefs. Excuse me, on the Eagles, they didn't call. And it's like they didn't want to give no people criticism of making these calls. And it's like, it's sad that if the referees couldn't really referee because they were afraid by the league, because there were some penalties that should have been called, I agree with, and it wasn't.
Well,
but
there
that's
was
not the
one
reason
in
why
the-
the Chiefs lost, though.
There was one in the beginning too of the game where there should have been a call on the Chiefs, and that's when I think a lot of people were like, "Oh, here we go." But that didn't turn out that way. But still, it's like, you know,
Yeah, that offensive line of the Chiefs did not have a good day. And as it is, they had some injuries. They were not as bad as they were back in 2020 when they faced the Buccaneers, but they did have their guard move over to tackle, and they were juggling their offensive line. And I got to give it to Vic Fangio. He called a freaking game on defense, and he exploited that offense. They knew that the Chiefs couldn't run the ball, so they made them one-dimensional, and they just attacked Patrick Mahomes. But the idea that they were able to do it with just the front four, zero blitzes on the Eagles the whole game. They were able to get there with the front, and those front four. Let's be honest. They're not these big time Hall of Fame guys on there. They just did their job and they did it well when it counted. And Patrick Mahomes, at least to me, looked duressed from the get go. From the get go, he had happy feet. He was bouncing all over the place. He could not set his feet because he felt that pressure coming, and I think it affected his game from the first play to the last. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
It was like, I mean, that was the worst Mahomes I think we've ever seen. like ever. I've never seen him play that bad. That was all I had.
Oh, shoot. All right. Well, just that didn't smile. I thought you were going to go a little longer.
Yeah, no. That was. I mean, that was
Dude.
it. It was just he was terrible. I mean,
He shit the bed.
like yeah, and I mean, he made that one incredible throw, like 3/4 of the field. But other than that, I mean, I think he made a couple of throws, but for the most part, it was just he was running for his life most of the game, and
Yeah.
there was just nothing he could do.
That defensive line was on
I did
Mahomes. Like literally the whole game. Yeah, Mahomes didn't have enough time to pass. He didn't have enough time to get out of the pocket. I mean, he threw 2 interceptions, right? One of them was a pick six. And then he had a fumble. Like, he did not look like the Mahomes that we saw. And honestly, I'm happy. Fuck the Kansas City Chiefs.
Well, that pick six was completely on Mahomes. I mean, the pressure was there, but that throw to the linebacker, number 53 for the Eagles, that was they pushed that freaking tackle right into Mahomes' lap, and because of that, he underthrew that ball right into the linebacker of the Eagles, and he was being duressed, and then he missed Kelsey on an open play for easy first down. So you can start seeing I think, to be honest with you, the pressure is a real thing, guys. I think the pressure of that three-peat that everybody was talking about really got to the Chiefs. The Eagles had nothing to lose other than not being champions. But I think the Eagles came more free, more time to have fun. I think the Chiefs came in with the pressure of, this is an opportunity to do something that nobody's ever done in the NFL, to win 3 Super Bowls in a row. I think Travis Kelce is going to retire. He wanted to retire on top of the mountain, and stuff just did not go their way. The Eagles said, we got different things we're going to go do tonight, and they beat them. I mean, that score is deceiving, guys. For those that just see the score, didn't see the game, that wasn't necessarily 40-22. That's 40-6. Those other touchdowns was garbage time for Patrick Mahomes. Because when the game mattered, they couldn't do anything. The Eagles' defense just was swarming, like they can taste the blood in the water. So the Eagles won 40-22. Enough of those two teams. And I'll start with you, Pete. What do the Niners need to do this offseason? Other than the obvious is of staying healthy, what do they need to do to be able to compete with a team like the Eagles in 2025?
They have to go back to what they did when they first got there. When Shanny and Lynch first got there, what did they say? They wanted to build a team inside out. And at a certain point, they got in recent years, they got away from that mantra, and it became all about weapons, how many weapons they can stockpile. And they just started putting serviceable guys out there and expecting Chris Kassir to make magic out of the things that they were just giving, out of the scraps that he was given. And they were just losing good player after good player on the defensive and offensive line. And that's you can't just continue to maintain that and think that you're going to get by with serviceable players, especially if you're planning on changing your game plan. It's just they need to figure out what the scheme is and bring players in that fit the scheme. It's really that simple. Like, they've got so many players that don't fit anything. That's why this team looked like it had no identity all season, is because they don't really have, all their players are kind of mismatched. They don't really have any specific type of player that they go with. They just they like to say football players. And that just, you might fool people once with that, but like after a while, it's just you have to have an identity, and they just don't have one.
Yeah, so true. You want to add? What's up, Kenny? Welcome to the show. You want to add to that, Senor Brandon?
I just need to say what they need to do in the offseason is what the Eagles did in their offseason after they lost the Super Bowl. Upgrade that defensive line, upgrade that offensive line, and just fucking stay healthy as well. But for sure, I think that O line and D line definitely needs to get upgraded, and we might have a chance against the Chiefs when we play them again.
Yeah, they definitely got to take care of that. Personally, take care of that middle. I mean, we're going to lose Hargrave. We're going to cut him, so he's not going to be there. I would love for the Niners to go and get DJ Jones from the Broncos. I think he'll be at a valuable price. Then I'm going to have to pay too much. If they can bring him in, he knows the system. But I think having Robert Saleh back and then hiring Gus Bradley as someone that can help out as well is not a bad thing. And my personal belief is he'll help out that defense. I think this defense is going to be much better than it was in 2024, especially if we're healthy. Now, ideally, do we bring Greenlaw back? I hope we do. That there's a linebacker with the Jets that I like very much. Hopefully he comes to the Niners. Maybe DJ Reed, the slot corner with the Jets that we drafted, that we lost to the Seattle Seahawks. He'll be a nice addition in the middle between Green and Lenore. But they got to fix that offensive line. I know a lot of people want to go defensive side of the ball with the draft. I don't know about your guys, and I'm going to get your thoughts, and I'll start with Brandon, and then you can answer as well, Pete. There's going to be three top tackles that I think are worth taking at 11 if they're there. And I'm going to put them personally in order. Will Campbell, Josh Simmons, and Banks Jr. If any of those tackles are there, Brandon, would you take a tackle over a guy on defense, even if he's a good player on defense? Would you still go with tackle, or depending who's there on defense, you would rather go defensively?
To be honest, if I'm the Niners, I don't see them going tackle at 11 at all. I think that they'll focus on the D-line first and then hit up tackle probably second, third round.
Okay. All right. Pete, what's your thoughts?
I trust in that the Niners are not going to do anything that we want them to do.
That's true.
That's my thought on it. Like as much as we think that they should do this, that, and the third, they never do.
Okay.
They never do the things that they're supposed to do. I think that they're going to go best player available, whoever they feel is the best player available. And I mean, and honestly, that's what they should be doing. Like they've got holes kind of everywhere if you really look at it. They've got guys that are either going to be gone or like this year or should be gone by next year. And there's a lot of holes. There's a lot more holes than people realize. And this is an aging roster. They should have been taking care of some of these needs 2 years ago, especially the offensive line. They should have been taken care of like 2 to 3 years ago. And they just have refused to do that, and now they're paying the price for it. So I hope that they don't force a tackle, because the tackles that I'm seeing so far, none of them are perfect. None of them are a perfect fit for what the 49ers do. And the one guy that I feel like would be in Simmons, he's injury prone, in my opinion. Not prone, but he's coming off of an injury. I just don't believe in drafting guys coming off of injuries.
Yeah,
and
fair enough.
That's just not my thing. So like I think that they should probably. I would love for them to get Graham Barton. In my opinion, that would be my wish. But I know that they'll probably have to trade up at least one or two spots to go get him, and I don't know that they'd be willing to do that. But, and I know we're going to talk about this later, but honestly, they might not even have the 11th pick.
So do you think they go down or up?
Well, no. I'm saying that they trade away. They package. I'm thinking they might package up Debo with the 11th and get something of consequence. I don't know. I don't think that they're going to do all that for a. I'm thinking of a guy that just asked to be traded. Not Debo. I'm talking about, but the guy from the Browns.
Yeah, he's not coming, bro.
Well, we don't know.
You're not going to pay $35 million
Myles
to
Garrett?
You're not going to pay $35 million to Bosa and $35 million to Myles Garrett. Bro.
You never know, bro. You never know.
Well, no, he'll be cheap. He'll be a lot cheaper for us.
No,
this season.
Yeah.
He'll be a lot cheaper for us this season because they're not paying the majority of that money. It'd be the Browns paying the majority of that money.
On a trade, I would have to look at the financials.
Yeah, on a trade. On a trade, they'd be paying a majority of that money. The reality is it's going to be kind of not a complete wash because they still owe Debo, so they're going to take a hit regardless. Which I'm sure we're going to get into the Debo stuff later, but that would be. I have this feeling that they're gonna there's a chance that they may not even pick at 11.
Interesting. What about what's your thoughts, Brandon?
I can see them going for Myles Garrett. That would be a definite addition to our line and to help us help out Nick Bosa.
Oh, what happened?
I think he muted himself.
Man.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I had to talk to one of the recruits. But yeah, that would definitely help out Nick Bosa too. You know what I mean? And like Pete said, it's not going to cost us a lot. So, we could hope and dream, but who knows if it happens or not? We'll see because they still have to pay Brock too, right? And then bunch of other shit going on the defense too that we have to pay a lot of other people. So we'll see. I mean, I kind of hope they do, but you never know.
Yeah, his base. Just so we were clear, Myles Garrett's base salary is $1,255,000.
How much?
A majority of his money is guaranteed.
Okay. That's okay. So that's guaranteed.
Yeah, that's his base. So his cap hit is 19 million. So his dead cap would be 36 million.
It's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's what I told you. I don't think we're gonna get him, bro.
But I said the same thing about Debo's dead cap is 31 million. But people are talking about him trading. And remember when that first came up, when everybody started talking about Debo getting traded, I said that there's probably I just can't see it happening. Just because of the dead cap hit. And people started talking about the post June 1st, but all that does is cut the money in half into 2 years, 2 separate years. And I think it makes him, I think the first year is only 10 million of a cap hit, but that's still 10 million. And the 49ers need every dollar that they can get with having to pay Brock. And I get it that his first season's probably going to be on the cheaper side, but still that's still a lot of money to just be given up, just because he asked to go somewhere.
Yeah. I would love to bring. I would like to. I think it will cost us less to go after someone like Max Crosby with the Raiders I know he's kind of doesn't want to be there. He hasn't officially asked for a trade, but I can see the Niners trading Debo to the Raiders for Max Crosby and maybe a second round for Max Crosby and Debo, and we can still keep our 11th to draft a D tackle if Max Crosby would request a trade. But I love Myles Garrett. I would love him to be opposite of Bosa, but financially, I just don't see it happening. I wish it was like Madden where we can make it happen, but we can't. And the reality is that he's going to cost a lot of money. But it's nice to see him paired up with Bosa. Imagine what those two can do. But listen, Myles Garrett's on a playing field of his own. But I love Max Crosby, what this kid can do. I think he's more valuable to the Niners at a cheaper cost than Garrett. I think that, honestly, if I wouldn't be shocked. I'll be shocked if the Washington Commanders don't go heavy after Garrett. They can afford him. They need defensive help. And I can see the team like that go after him.
The Max Crosby's base salary 18 is 22 million.
Much cheaper.
No, that's less. That's way more. Like Myles Garrett's was only $1 million.
Base salary?
Like Myles Garrett's all of his money was guarantees, which is usually paid.
I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that part. Oh, so it was guaranteed by. It shouldn't be
Max
surprising
Crosby,
when it comes to the Browns.
Yeah, Max Crosby got all his money, a lot of his money up front, like his guarantees. So like now he's still got a 24 million cap hit, but most of that's base salary. Because it's like 22 million a base salary, and it's a $27 million cap hit, almost 28.
But they could resign him.
That's a weird way to do it.
Yeah,
huh?
Those are the Raiders, though. But Myles Garrett guarantees make sense because the Browns love to guarantee everything. I mean, look what they did with their quarterback.
Yeah,
200.
Watson.
Yeah, you guaranteed everything. And how many games has he played? Not enough. So, you know what I mean? So if there's a team that knows how to give guarantee money, it's definitely the Browns. Unfortunately, it doesn't work out. So the Niners need to take care of that defensive. We need defensive help. Bosa can do it on his own. I love Leonard Floyd, but Leonard Floyd at this point is a rotational piece, in my opinion. I don't think he's a starter. Opposite of Bosa, I think he can be a great third and long, bring him in, move someone else inside and bring in Leonard Floyd and let him just pin his ears back and go after the quarterback. But as a solid 3-down starter, I don't know if that's a good thing for Floyd. And let's talk a little bit about Brock Purdy. I heard that negotiations have started with Brock Purdy and his team. How soon, based on the character of Brock Purdy? I'm just saying, I say base. I'm not saying I know where you laugh, bro, because I'm with you. But based on the character, and character can be deceiving, I got you. But based on the character, how soon do you think this contract gets done with Brock? Pete?
I mean, you would like to think that the Niners have learned from their past mistakes, but I just can't help but think that this is going to get drug out. This is going to get drug out at least into OTAs, at least. I think that Brock's team is going to try and get every dollar they possibly can. And which is, the guy they've almost been stealing from Brock like for years what he gave them. He got him to a Super Bowl and he got him to an NFC championship and for peanuts. So don't think that that's not going to come into the negotiation. The fact that he hasn't been paid at all. So I got to believe that I just think it's going to go at least into OTAs. I would be shocked if and maybe it might be long. It might go into. I would highly doubt that it goes into training camp. I think that it's going to get done before training camp.
I would hope so because listen, every position is valuable, every position is important, but there's no position more important than the quarterback position. You got to get
quarterbacks usually get done pretty early.
Yeah,
so but this is the Niners.
True, and
I say it'll get done by draft day.
Yeah.
I would love it.
I hope so. If they come into a common ground, it's all going to depend if both parties can come to a mutual ground of agreement amongst each other. But you're right, Pete. The Niners, for some reason, they love to wait towards the end, right before training camp, before they even start. But the fact that they already started communications with Brock Purdy's party, it's a sign because they never start this early. They don't do no negotiation. Usually,
they start. They just always lowball. They always lowball in the beginning, and and I don't know that they're gonna. I think that they're going to lowball him. It's not. I don't think that there is in any world are they gonna just say, "Oh, okay, here you go. Here's the bag." That's not gonna. I don't think that's gonna happen.
No, why would you?
Yeah,
you're never gonna. Yeah, you never. You gotta. If you want to pay someone 20, you gotta. I mean, you gotta start somewhere where you can. In this case, they're gonna start low to go up, and Brock Purdy's gonna want to go up. So they're not. If they don't want to pay more than 25, they're gonna start with 20. Hopefully, or if they want to pay 25. They'll offer him 20, hopefully to get to 20. I'm just using that number as an...
I was about to say.
Yeah, not that number. I'm just using that. I just picked a random number. But let's say they want to pay him 55 to be more ideal. They'll offer him 45 and see where they can play along. And that's always a thing. But I think Brock Purdy knows what he's worth. The Niners know what he's worth. The Niners, I mean, you can go without a good receiver. It hurts your team if Brennan and you did not sign. Would it hurt the Niners? Yes. But we would not be devastated. If you didn't sign a certain player, would it hurt the Niners? Yes. You don't sign Brock Purdy, you're hurting this team. Because there's nobody that can place. And Kittle knows this. Kittle knows this. His team knows this. So in reality, the person that holds the ball in their court is Brock Purdy, not the Niners. Yeah. And it's up to Brock Purdy how much he wants to.
Kittle's in talks.
Yeah. Well, his is more about extending his contract.
Yeah.
Which is great.
But I love that he's in talks to extend him. He's one of those guys that I would allow to be I wouldn't have no issue with being a lifetime Niner.
Oh, no, not Kittle. Kittle's a true trooper. Him, Fred Warner. Fred Warner and Kittle are those two cornerstones players that you can always extend their contract or stretch out because you know that they're going to put their effort each and every year, and you're going to get the best out of them. The fact that they're extending him is amazing, and he's doing it because he does want Brock. He wants Brock. Yeah. What's up, 49er Minded? I see you in there. McNiner came in.
What up? What up, Bash?
You guys came in. Welcome. Papa
What's
says
up, Bash?
A 5-year, $300 million, 180 guaranteed. I don't really look at the yearly, like how much is it going to break down? Is it going to be 55? Is it going to be 60? I want to know what the guarantee is. That's what I look at. The guarantee.
Hey,
the yearly thing. I'm not sweating it. What's up?
I got a dip right now, but
you dip, I dip, we dip,
and then we dip, you dip. I gotta leave though because I gotta get back to work. We're about to head out right now, so
you gotta get. I thought you were working. Just kidding.
We are.
Yeah, this is what he calls work.
Anyways, so I'll be back for next week.
All right, bro. No worries. Be blessed,
All right,
brother.
I'll see you guys later.
All right.
All right, man.
Bye.
All right. One gone, two to go. Welcome, Rick Diaz. Welcome to the channel. He says, hey, oh, I just took it off. Hey, man, a long time no see, no hear from you. Yeah, I've been on a hiatus. Me and Pete's been working late the last 2 weeks. As a lot of you know or don't know, he's a manager at his store. He runs a store, so he was not able to go. Brandon, as you can see, he's working tonight. He's not able to go, and I was remodeling my home a little bit, so I wasn't able to go. So it's been about 3 weeks since we've been on, man. But we miss you guys. We're on it tonight, and I almost didn't make it tonight, to be honest with you. But here we are. Here we are. But I appreciate you, Rick. Good to see you, Val Ramos, in the house. What's up, my brother? How you doing, sir? Let me hold on, Pete. Let me get rid of these small ones. And let me pull out the big one.
No mommies.
No mommies. Let me pull out the big one, eh? You know, the big one, size matters.
Don't put me on screen.
Where is the other one on there for? Hold on. Give me a second. Guess number 2, let me close that out. Bye-bye. All right, now bring him on. All these things to do, all because Brandon can't stay. There we go. All right, now we're good. So, the Niners definitely need to take care of that thing with Brock. I think they will. Brandon, you could be back, hopefully healthy. Now, the situation with Debo. Let's talk about Debo for a bit. Debo requested a trade, as we all know. He doesn't want to be here. I haven't really listen. I'm a Lakers fan. Well, so are you. That's right.
Yep.
And so a lot of things have been happening with basketball. I'm not going to talk too much about basketball. That's a different channel. But I've been busy with the whole free agency and trades with basketball. So I haven't been really keeping up with the football part of it. I was going to ask you, Pete, the whole Debo thing. Do you know what came to fruition? Why is he asking for a trade? Does he feel like he's not going to get enough play here? I mean, because it was his request, not the Niners. Do you know why?
Well, the rumor is that the 49ers were going to ask him to take a pay cut.
That's kind of what I figured, but I wasn't sure.
And and then he said, because I mean, the reality is he's underperformed the last
for what they're paying him. Absolutely.
Years. Like he has not performed to his contract. He doesn't want. It sounds like a lack of accountability from Debo, and I mean, it's not. It's like I'm not him, but I wouldn't want to think that I'm lesser of a player. Like so, of course, if you're not getting, he feels he's not getting that. He said he felt he wasn't getting the opportunities, which. He was the most targeted person on the team.
Yeah.
So I don't understand how he wasn't getting the opportunities. But he didn't. I think that it was the move to the scheme that, like, once again, it comes to Shanny having 1 foot in and 1 foot out. There was no identity to the offense. They were all over the place. And they were doing all kinds of different stuff. And I just don't think that there was any clear. I think that the players don't feel that. Like when there's no continuity and you don't know what you're going to do from one play to the next, and we're just now you want to call my number now, and now you're expecting me to do XYZ, even though I haven't had a touch for like the last 2 quarters.
They get paid millions, bro. Get out of your feelings, players.
I get that. At the same time, there is something to be said for the offense that was being ran last year. I didn't like it. I know most of the fans didn't like watching it. It looked like a train wreck. And I don't blame Debo for the way that offense looked. He was a part of it.
Yeah.
But that wasn't it was by no means was it his fault that the offense looked the way that it did. So he's only got a couple more. He's what, 28?
20.
He's only got a couple of more years in his prime before it's starting to go downhill. So he's probably wanting to go to another team.
I already think he's already gone downhill, personally.
He has for the 49ers, but we've seen players go from the 49ers to other teams and still do well.
True.
So it's like it is what it is. I just think that it was over. We all knew. We were talking about this last offseason that we just assumed that they were going to move on from Debo this season, and because of the Pearsall pick, and but what happened was then they restructured Debo, which made it harder to get rid of him.
That's a head scratcher right there.
What did we say at the time? We said it made no sense for them to restructure.
Yeah.
Because now you're stuck.
I think that was a Kyle thing, bro. Kyle likes Debo.
I think it was too. I
don't think John Lynch was too far with that.
No. I think the same thing you just said. Kyle gets in his feelings way too much for these players.
Yep.
And I think he causes financial hardship on the team.
He makes it hard for the rest of the people in that organization.
Yeah, because certain guys can't get paid because he has his guys. Some people can't get touches and can't eat because his guys have to get touches. But that is one thing that I'm kind of happy if Debo does not end up on the team, is because I felt like they just kept forcing touches to him, and I felt like it was really making the offense bogged down and really making the offense just predictable.
Yeah,
and it's
because they knew they were going to him. Yeah,
it's going to force Kyle to come up with something else.
Yeah, so. I think it'll be good for both parties to move on. I think it'll be good for Debo to start with a new team, get a fresh start, get more value in playing on a certain offense. The Niners will be able to concentrate. Brock Purdy, with his new contract, will be able to work with a young kid and Parcells, second year into the league, with Brandon Ayuk coming back from injury. And, Juwan Jennings, we can't forget him. And even the kid we took in the fourth round, can't think of his name. Help me out here. Jacob. Jacob. Oh. No, that's a running back.
Isaac Guerrero,
our running back, yeah. So we definitely have players. I wouldn't be surprised if they draft another receiver. Now, somebody in the chat mentioned, and we'll get back to the Debo because I do have a couple of things that I want to add, but I think Momo Martin said, I would like to get Davante Adams. I don't know about that. I want to get your thoughts on the Davante Adams. What are your thoughts? He says he wants to play in the West Coast, whether it's for us, the Chargers, or the Rams. But he wants to play. He wants to live in the West Coast. What do you think about a trade like that for him? Or not a trade?
Depends on what they're giving up.
I think they're going to cut him. Would you pick him up?
If they're going to cut him and we could get him for cheap, I don't have a problem with it. Bringing him in, I don't think you can have too many cost-controlled good wide, because regardless, even if he is a step slower, he's still better than what the 49ers got right now. Nothing against Juwan Jennings or Brandon Ayuk, but he's still twice the route runner that anybody that we've got is. So it is what it is.
Now, you did mention real quick about Debo, how they were trying to feed him the ball too much, right? You bring somebody like Davante Adams, you're going to get right back into that same scenario.
It's a possibility because of Kyle, but he's a good player.
No.
Are we not going to bring in a good player?
But Brock is going to try to.
That's my thing.
He'll be obviously the number one, and until
Ayuk comes back,
get his feet wet and get it underneath him.
I still think he'd be number one even after Ayuk got his feet under him.
Davante Adams, he has a couple years left, right?
Yeah, I think he'd still be their number one wide receiver.
Now, what happens is Davante Adams says, "I'll come only if you bring my quarterback with me.
Oh no. Yeah, he gotta go. Absolutely not.
Does that change the whole projection?
Aaron Rodgers can go somewhere.
Kick rocks?
Yeah, no. Yeah, unless he wants to be Brock's backup.
Yeah. People have been talking about that. Why don't we bring Aaron Rodgers? I'm like, guys, did you watch him play for the Jets? We're not getting the early Green Bay version of Aaron Rodgers. Have you seen last year's play from Aaron Rodgers? Brock Purdy at this point is way better than Rodgers.
I mean,
I'm not saying overall.
Nobody. He doesn't want to play. He didn't want to play for Matt LaFleur's offense. He didn't want to play that style of offense. He definitely doesn't want to play Shanahan's style of offense.
Yeah. Those would be two egoistic people on the same team.
Yeah, I can't even imagine.
They'll be going at it like cats and dogs.
And then Salah's on the sideline.
Yeah.
And him and Aaron Rodgers didn't get along apparently. So yeah, I couldn't.
Oh, that's right. When he with the Jets, I'm like, where did they connect? But I forgot.
Yeah.
I think it was Rodgers that got him fired.
Yeah. He'd be like, "Hey, bro, how's it going?"
Yeah, you gonna give me fire over here too? Yeah. So if Devontae Adams, it's an option by himself on a 1 year, maybe 2 year, I can see that happening. It wouldn't hurt, definitely, to add more weapons. But how much do you think he will cost us?
You talking about Devontae?
Yeah.
Oh, I have absolutely no idea. I thought we're just talking hypotheticals because I don't. I mean, if we're talking about just a straight free agent deal, it probably, I bet you any amount of money it'd be at least a 2-year deal. I don't think it would be a 1-year deal.
About 2 years, 15 million a year?
Yeah, maybe. But but that's the thing. This is all completely hypothetical.
Of course.
And I don't think that they could afford it, which means that he'd probably go to the Chargers. Because the Chargers got a quarterback as well.
Or the Rams, they're losing Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
And the Rams love to go
but
for
they might be losing Matt Stafford too.
No, he already said on the radio he's staying.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I would hope that it wouldn't make any sense for them to give up on Cooper Kupp and then bring in another aging receiver. In my opinion, that doesn't really make much sense. But
another what?
Another aging receiver? Because I thought
it was the other word, like Chinito. I'm like, what?
Oh.
Yeah, I'm like, what? But aging.
Yeah, no,
okay.
That wouldn't make much sense to me. I feel like they're trying to go young and trying to build.
Yeah.
And but the 49ers may push par for the course.
They may push Stafford out. And people think that Stafford might want to leave. Listen, they're going to get younger, and you know what the thing about it is? Who was it? Bill Walsh, or he goes, "I'd rather trade somebody 1 year early than 1 year late." Mm-hmm. And if you're going to be honest with yourself, this is the year to trade Matthew Stafford and get something in return for him that you probably wouldn't get the following year if he plays this year. So, and you're right, they do want to go younger, so we'll see what they do. But I think the Niners are going to take care of business with Brock Purdy. They're going to fix up that offensive line. Listen, there's a free agent out there, and a lot of Niner fans, they're concerned about because of Brock Purdy's deal. If he gets 60, if he gets 65, we're not going to be able to sign nobody. We're not going to have nobody. For the first 3 years, whatever Brock Purdy's contract is, it's not going to affect this team.
Yeah, no.
It's not going to affect this team in the first 3 years. Down the line, they can always rework his contract based on how he does, but they can bring in someone like that center from Atlanta, that top center.
Yeah.
They can sign him. Yes. I can see the Niners going after him, bringing him in. You're paying all this money for your new toy, which is your quarterback. Why not get him the best protection that you possibly can on that offensive line, and then go draft a Josh Simmons? Josh Simmons, listen, I know he got hurt, but he's not someone that gets hurt all the time. He's coming off an injury, but he got hurt early in the season, so he's had time to recover. If he would have never got hurt, he would have been at least a top 5 prospect this year. Easy, top 5.
Yeah,
He'd probably be the first lineman to go off the board. So why not pick up the center, draft Josh Simmons, start replenishing your line, and then go after Myles Garrett or go after somebody on defense?
Because it's the 49ers. I don't know what you've been watching the last 2 to 3 years.
Maybe I'm just hopeful.
This front office.
Well, they did go get Hargrave.
Okay.
He just didn't work out.
But I'm talking about. What I'm saying is the obvious moves. They don't make the obvious moves.
Which are, in your opinion?
So they took Drake Jackson. They took. Let's talk about. Let's talk about the draft for a minute.
Okay.
This draft year, not it, because this was a pretty good draft class, right? Even though I didn't agree with some of the picks, it still ended up being a pretty good draft class.
You got 4 players out of this draft.
The year before that
started.
The year before that was a dumpster fire. Year before that was a dumpster fire. They picked a kicker in the 3rd round.
Yeah.
When there was multiple offensive tackles on the board that were serviceable, that are starting in the league now. It's there. And then the year before that, when they picked Drake Jackson and they picked Trey Sermon, we could go down the list of just ineptitude that this front office has shown in the draft.
Trey Sermon.
It's been
the running back.
Yeah. TDP.
Yeah.
TDP
No, I forgot about Trey. Yeah. No running backs or kickers or punters in the 3rd round.
Or tight ends. or tight ends. It's bad. It's bad. They can't be trusted. So they had this year. It was good. They made a turnaround, even though I thought it was going to be it was going to be the same thing all over again. And honestly, I don't know that this draft class would have panned out. Because we didn't make the playoffs. So everybody wants to say that this was
that's because of injury,
class.
though, bro. Come on.
I understand, but they flashed, and I'm not saying I'm not happy about the draft picks. Love Pooney. I love Pooney. Love Renardo Green.
Mustafa.
Love Mustafa. But they got Mustafa had made some great plays, but he still got
a rookie
on a few exactly. But he wouldn't have had those opportunities if there wasn't been for injury. If it hadn't been.
If Tano Fonga wasn't hurt, no, he wouldn't even seen the field.
If the 49ers didn't have all the injuries they had, we never see Pooney. We never even see Pooney. If they didn't have all the injuries, we don't even see Renardo.
They wouldn't even draft Pooney. Forget about seeing him.
No. He was drafted already. It was in OTAs and training camp that they lost Burford, they lost Feliciano, and that he was all they had. If that hadn't happened, he wouldn't have started.
Didn't he? I think before they lost Burford beat him out in training camp. So he
didn't beat anybody out.
Oh yeah, he did.
He didn't beat anybody out. No, he didn't.
Pooney?
No, he didn't.
Oh my goodness!
Pooney did not beat anyone out. There was injuries. He got the start.
No,
they made
of course.
A big old story about it because he got the on the first team reps because of the injuries to Burford and.
But didn't Burford get hurt
Feliciano.
like 3 weeks in? How many games in did he get hurt?
No, he wasn't. He didn't make games in.
Oh, he didn't?
He got hurt in the off season.
I don't quite remember, so I can't really argue that point because I don't remember.
Yeah, he
But
got hurt in the
I
offseason.
thought, me personally, I thought that Pooney won the position. It wasn't given to, he won it. He
Like,
outplayed everyone else.
He was given that he outplayed everyone eventually, but he wouldn't have even gotten an opportunity, is my point, if those guys had been healthy.
But he,
It wouldn't have been. It's not about if he was better or not. Kyle
no,
would
true.
not
But
have given him the opportunity.
he beat out Burford before Burford got hurt.
He was already dinged up in training camp, Burford, and that was the reason why he got first team reps. He was already dinged up, and then they just left him in there even after Burford got healthy because he was playing well.
Who do you think
That's
is a
what
better
happened.
player, Burford or
Pooney?
You don't
I mean,
think
it's
that
not even a question.
You don't think they would have saw that in practice?
No. Beto. Burford was slated in front of him.
No, I know.
Feliciano was already hurt.
Yes.
Feliciano was already hurt.
Yes.
So if Burford was playing with the first team. Then Burford got dinged up. And then Pooney got forced into to playing with the ones. Then they left him there because he was playing so well. That's what happened.
Okay. Got you.
Yep.
At the end of the day, regardless how he got the fact that he got there, and I'm glad he got there because that's his position to play. I love him there. I want him to stay there. I know people rumbling about moving him to tackle. I don't want that. If he already figure out that, if you want to move him over to left guard, go for it. But why mess with something if it ain't broken? In my opinion, Burford was injured in training camp, so did Feliciano. Pooney got a chance and never looked back. Okay, so David's kind of backing you up in what you said.
Yeah.
Which is fine. And if I'm corrected, I'm okay with that. I got no issues with being corrected.
That's all I'm saying. It's not about even being right. It was it's just the my point about the rookie class is that if it hadn't been for the injuries, we wouldn't have even known how good of a rookie class it was.
Kenny said it himself. Shanahan doesn't play his rookies.
Yeah. Well, he does only when he has to. Like Hufanga. Hufanga got a chance as a rookie. Fred Warner got a chance as a rookie. Greenlaw got a chance as a rookie. There's a bunch of rookies that have gotten chances, but it was because they had a need.
I don't think Warner played his first year.
Yeah, he did.
He wrote the bench.
No, he didn't.
What's name was in there?
His rookie year?
Yeah. I could be wrong, but help me out, chat. I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, I'm okay with it. But Dan Warner, he was drafted third round. What's the name of the linebacker? I forgot the big old buff linebacker was our linebacker before Warner came in. Can't think of his name. If you guys can help me out.
Why can't I not?
I'm not sure he started, though, but I could be wrong. I think Warner was... Maybe he came in later that year, but I don't think he was starting week one.
I want to say that. Hold on. Now you're making me look it up. Here we go.
Making you work.
Yeah, I'm off, bro.
Same for Brock.
Yes, 2018. He came in 16 games started.
Oh, he did come in. So I thought Ruben Foster.
He talked about it on his podcast the other day. It talked about how they showed so much trust in him when they gave him the, what do they call it, the green dot or whatever it is on his helmet, as a rookie.
Oh, okay, so he did start day one, or game one, I should say.
Yeah, they loved him some Warner the minute he got in.
Well, but he got a chance to play because of Ruben, right? Because Ruben is out having his issues.
Well, he came in. Well, yeah.
Ruben got drafted the year before.
Yeah, Ruben Foster got drafted the year before, and
because he had his off the field issues, they drafted Warner.
Yeah, but regardless, he's a rookie.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
It wasn't because of injury; it was because the guy was a knucklehead. The other guy was a knucklehead. But But the reality is like you have so many things have to happen for and Debo started as a rookie too. But like so many things have to happen for Kyle to trust you as a rookie.
Did Kittle start as a rookie? I don't remember.
Kittle did.
Okay.
Kittle set records as a rookie.
Yeah, that's going back. I'm trying to remember what happened yesterday. Yeah, I forget my age. So I don't even know why I'm even arguing with you. Like, ask me what happened about 2 hours ago.
But what's it called? Like, so Renardo Green. Would Renardo Green have started if the things hadn't happened with Mooney Ward? Probably not. And like, and then you could go down the list. Like, Mustafa wouldn't have got his time if Hufanga wasn't hurt.
Yeah. So 49er Media brings up, didn't Ben Bart start last year in the absence of Aaron Banks and played well?
Yeah.
At that left?
He looked really good. He looked really good.
Okay. So he might take over that spot. Because I know they're not going to bring Aaron Banks back at that price.
I would like to see Burford get a shot at that spot.
Really?
I would. Burford played well there too.
So let them compete,
and Burford
and let the best man win.
Because he's younger, more athletic than Ben Barch. Like Ben Barch played really well though, and I get it. But he's a journeyman, and he got hurt. He got hurt right away.
That'll be a good thing. Let them battle that out in camp, right?
Yeah, exactly. Just let it be a battle and let them battle it out. But I would like to see Burford get a chance on. It seems like he's so much more comfortable in that left side.
So let me ask you something: if Burford cannot beat out Ben Birch, does that worry you?
I mean, no, not so much. Just because he can be a valuable backup. We've seen it.
But you rather see him win. You rather him win it and be a starter.
Exactly.
Okay.
I would rather Barch be the backup.
And you say that only because of age?
Because of age.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure we're clear. Okay.
Like, yeah, like I want because Barch is a journeyman. I don't want to see another journeyman. Like I want a homegrown guy that is invested in the team. Like has been trying his butt off to get in the lineup. Things haven't worked out for him, and now it would be a great story for him to just come in and solidify that left spot.
Okay, got it. So as we reach an hour, and I'm going to be mindful. I know you've been working hard at your job, and I know you're 3 hours ahead of me or 2 hours ahead of me. Is it 3 or 2? 2 hours, right?
It's two.
Okay, but still, 2 hours is 2 hours. And you got to work tomorrow, so I'm going to keep that in mind. The combine. I just want you to talk on it, and we'll close it up. Do you watch or pay attention to anything on the combine? Does the combine excite you as a fan, or you're like, nah?
I don't personally care about the combine, but I watch it just to get an idea because that's what the draft, like the mock drafts and the
moves the needle
boards go
on the draft board.
It moves the needle like crazy. Like for that stuff.
That's why I watch
all
it
the
as
mock
well.
drafts that we're doing right now mean absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
because when it takes a jump after the Senior Bowl, and then after the Senior Bowl, then comes the combine,
and then free agency.
It's going to take a major shuffle,
and then free agency, another shuffle.
Yeah, and then the pro days happen, and it's another shuffle.
Yep.
Like so, it's fun to do the mocks. I love doing the mocks. But it's the last couple of years you get really frustrated jumping from one mock. Oh my God! Now we got to think completely the other direction.
Yeah, but it's fun, and we're definitely going to get our share of mocks, bro. It's still early. We're going to get our share of mock drafts. So those that love mock drafts, make sure to stay tuned to our channel every Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're going to do our mock draft, myself, Pete, and Brandon, and we're going to break our draft. We'll figure out whether we do the whole draft ourselves 1 week, the following week someone else, or if we break it up by rounds. We'll figure it out. We'll put it out for you guys, and you guys can Definitely. And maybe one of them will have a call in where we'll have a guest call in and be the GM for about 2 rounds and see who they pick. I think that'll be fun just to get everybody involved in the channel. So make sure to hit the like button. Today we only went live on my channel, my mistake. But make sure to follow Pete. Pete, where can they find you at? And I'm going to bring you up.
FANATIC Podcast.
Here you go. There he is. There, look up. There's all his channels right there, bro. Everyone. Make sure to follow him. Make sure to follow Brandon. I'll bring up Brandon as well, even though you're going to see a blank because Brandon's not going to be there. But just to see Brandon, there's Brandon's follow the guest too. Follow the brick wall. But those are all the channels where you can find Brandon. And for myself, you already know, and I'm not on there either, which that's funny. I'm going to keep up with Brandon. If you don't see Brandon, you don't see me. Órale, pues.
Talk to the audio visual guy.
Yeah, the audio visual. But thank you guys for joining our show. Thank you so much for participating. We've been gone for 2 weeks or 3 weeks hiatus. We're back. Something comes up, we miss, but we're trying to do this consistently every Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Make sure to join us. Make sure to hit the notification bell so you guys will be notified each and every time we go live. Pete, always a pleasure of talking football with you, my friend, and Brandon as well. You have a wonderful night. Everyone in the chat, have a wonderful night. And be blessed. And remember, the red and gold is the best team in the NFL. Peace. Good night, everybody. God bless. We're out of here.
Love y'all.